We will now begin the 90-second closing statements with Lisa Raitt.
Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you very much, Nova Scotia. It's been great to be here, and you've been wonderful. So give yourself a round of applause, but don't cut too much into my time. Thank you. Let's review the record of the Liberals, because I think this is important. They said they would promise to run a $10 billion deficit. They didn't do that. They said that they would balance a budget by 2019. It's 2055 now. They said that they would reinstate mail home delivery. Not going to happen. They said that they would cut small business taxes. Left that one behind. They said that they would hold an open competition on competing for our CFA teens. We know that one's gone as well. He also said that there would be revenue-neutral tax cuts, cost over $1 billion. And finally, the fait accompli this week, they promised that this election would be the last one first past the post, and guess what? They reneged on that one again. Trudeau is not a man of his word. What I can tell you is this. When we run against him in 2019, you want to put up as a leader somebody you can trust and that you know knows you. He doesn't know us. He's never had to worry about a job. He's never had to worry about his kids getting a job. He's never had to worry about a down payment for a house. These are real things that occupy our mind and our time and cause us to lose sleep. I am the best leader for this Conservative Party because every single time when I stand there, I remind him exactly who he isn't. He is not one of us. He is not one of you. And he definitely doesn't think about you when he makes decisions.
Chris Alexander.
Well, I agree with that. Every word of it. And I, too, would like to thank all of you in Nova Scotia for this hospitality that we've had. And I'd also like to pay tribute to all of the other candidates, all of my colleagues up here on this stage, for being part of an exciting, broad-based race. What other party, national party, in a G7 country brings this much talent to the table? It is a sign of our strength. It is a sign that we have vision. It is a sign that we are the future of this country and of Nova Scotia. But we live in an uncertain world. There is economic anxiety. We see it when we talk to young people. We see it in our own families. We see it in communities that are worrying about the future, that are worrying about where the next jobs will come from, where their jobs might go. We, as a new Conservative government, have one central responsibility in 2019, and that is to be the source of a new vision for Canada of job creation that reflects the opportunities of the new economy, that reflects the opportunities of trade and of innovation and of research-driven exports that we in Canada now understand best in a world that is otherwise beset with protectionism and darkness. Let's be that model.
Maxime Bernier.
We were not on the Dragon Dance stage tonight. You are not applying to work for us. We are applying to work for you. And that's what I want to do. I want to work for you. I want to work for my daughters, Charlotte and Megan, for your children, your grandchildren, because what the Trudeau government is doing right now, it is not fair for the future generation. We don't have a future. It's a big black hole. So we need to give opportunities to Canadians. We need to have a smaller government because we have faith in people. We have faith in people. We have faith in your ability to take your decision, to do what you want to do in life, and to decide your own destiny. We don't believe that a big fat government in Ottawa is the solution to every problem in a society. I believe that it's you, that you're having the solution, and we must be sure that you'll have all the tools to be able to achieve your dreams. And I want to be with you. And I want to be also with my colleagues here on the stage. We'll be a great team, and together, yes, we'll be able to be back in government, and we'll be able to bring more jobs and opportunities in Canada. Merci.
Kellie Leitch.
To beat Trudeau, our party has to do three things: talk common sense policies, organize, and make sure we have effective communications. Common sense ideas like screening immigrants for Canadian values, making sure women are empowered with pepper spray so they can defend themselves, making sure that we are building that common sense movement so that Canadians join us. And I can tell you that we're going to take a lot of heat for these ideas and things that we do. But when 2/3 of Canadians agree with you, you have an opportunity to break through. What I can tell you is that if we are unafraid, we are going to win.
Stephen Blaney.
Okay. Fellow Canadian, the countdown for Vimy 100 has begun. The battle that took place on April the 9th, 1917, where we will commemorate the birth of a nation, a defining moment, but equally the loss of 3,000 Canadians. This week, in Quebec City, we lost 6 Canadians over a heinous crime. Boufelja Ben Abdallah, co-founder of the Quebec City Islamic Cultural Center, said, "We must continue to live better together. For the millenniums, the next generation, for a real sustainable development and living together, for our own humanity, we must take up our quarrel with the foe and have the courage to reach out to answer yes to this call for action because we are Canadian." Merci.
Brad Trost.
Tonight, I did not criticize my fellow Conservative candidates because they all have good ideas, and I believe I can work with each and every one of them. And I can work with each and every one of them because I'm 100% through and through Conservative. I'm known as a social conservative, someone who believes in the value, the sanctity of human life from conception to natural death. People know I've fought things like C-16, often known as the bathroom bill. I've stood up for the rights of firearms owners, and I think we need to finish the job and repeal the final elements of Bill C-68. I'm a fiscal conservative, lower taxes, less red tape, cutting government waste, privatizing things like the CBC, all things we need to do. And I'm a democratic conservative. I understand that as leader of this party, as Prime Minister of Canada, I don't have all the answers. I need a good team. I need a strong team from C to C. The Liberals are going to be very tough to beat. We know that. We need everyone on this stage together to fight them. But we owe it to Canadians to defeat the government of Justin Trudeau. They are destroying our country, and we need to stand up for our fellow Canadians. Thank you very much for having me here tonight. Merci, and may God bless each and every one of you.
Rick Peterson.
I was in Quebec City yesterday afternoon, standing with 4,000 other Canadians in the Quebec City Convention Centre. And I heard words of passion, I heard words of tolerance, I heard words of love. I heard words like, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. I heard words like, Allah Akbar. And I was reminded by Catholics, Jews, Muslims, agnostics, what a deeply rich country we have. In front of us were 3 dead men: Azzedine Soufiane, Mamadou Mudbari, Ibrahim Aberi. Fathers, all of them. Entrepreneurs, all of them. Small businessmen, all of them. Owner of a grocer and a butcher. A cosmetic technician and an IT technician. As I listened to the speeches, I thought of you here as Conservatives because the values that I heard in the Convention Centre of Quebec City yesterday are Conservative values. Our party must work hard to make sure that we are the party. Donc les valeurs des Canadiens, les valeurs des Français, les valeurs des Québécois, ce sont les nôtres. And that our party is the party that stands up and defends a system of immigration and justice that welcomes the world and makes us all better. Thank you.
Andrew Saxton.
Friends, I'm running for leader of our party and Prime Minister of Canada because I believe that Canada is a place that's known, where it doesn't matter where you come from, or what you do or what your name is, if you work hard and persevere, you can achieve security, financial security for you and your family, and create opportunities for your children. I know somebody that came to Canada as an orphan at the age of 17 from war-torn Europe. He had nothing except the desire to succeed in his new home. At the age of 20, he started a new business, and he got his friends to invest in that business. And over the next 15 years, he and his partners grew that business into the third largest finance company in Canada, with over 2,000 employees and over 200 branches from coast to coast. That person was my father, and he taught me a great deal about the importance of hard work. I'm sure many of you in this audience also have stories of people who started with nothing and created their dream here in Canada. As Prime Minister of Canada, I will ask my government every day, what are we doing to help Canadians achieve their dreams? Thank you.
Erin O'Toole.
When I talk each summer to my children, Molly and Jack, 10 and 5, about the summer and going to Nova Scotia as we do, they say, when are we going home? Because that really is our home here. I served in the military. I look around this city where I went to law school, at St. Mary's, where I married my wife, Rebecca, and I'm so proud to have her here. I was part of you. I was a volunteer at these conventions and helped John Hamm win in 1999, served on the provincial executive with many of you as volunteers. My entire campaign team is full of Nova Scotians, like in the past with Stanfield and Mulrooney, tapping that talent. And so I need you to join my team to make sure we can win. We have a Prime Minister who has an economy out of control, taxes raising for everyone, the military already atrophying, a decade of darkness, while he's flying to private islands. We have a celebrity-in-chief. We don't beat the celebrity-in-chief with another celebrity-in-chief. You know, Robert Stanfield and John Hamm did not have to go on television to earn the right to lead. They led by example here in Nova Scotia. That's why I'm running a positive ideas-based campaign. And let's not kid ourselves, friends. Particularly in Atlantic Canada, we lost not because of our shipbuilding and the great work we did. We were perceived to have a mean-spirited or negative edge. I've said I want to take that out, rebuild this party. So let's not seek out a leader that is known for mean-spirit and negative edge. I need your help to make sure we can win in 20.
Michael Chong.
Thanks, Rob, for moderating this event, and thank you all for coming out to listen to us tonight. We as Conservatives need to get serious. You know, it feels good to scratch an itch, but it's not always good for you. And this race is whether or not we grow our party or whether we scratch an itch. This race is a clear choice between two very different visions of the Conservative Party. On the one hand, there are plenty of candidates who want to scratch an itch. We have a candidate who thinks he's Rambo, who videotaped himself letting loose on a machine gun in Miami, and then had the audacity to post that video on the very same day we were burying the victims of one of the worst mass shootings in Canadian history. That might scratch an itch, but that video will cost us the next election. We have another candidate who is proposing to scrap the Canada Health Act and get the federal government out of one of Canadians' most cherished social programs, public health care. That too might scratch an itch, but that is a recipe for losing. And we have candidates in this race who cannot speak French to the 25% of Canadians who speak French as their first language, comme des francophones qui habitent à Sherry-Camp, en Acadie et partout les maritimes. And we have candidates that are playing to fear and prejudice about immigrants and refugees. My vision is for a very different party, a much bigger party, a much more inclusive party. Join my campaign. Thank you very much.
Kevin O'Leary.
Thank you. The last election, I stood in line on Bloor Street with my son, who's 20 years old, and was going into the polling booth, and I said to him, Trevor, you know, we're a conservative family. You're gonna vote conservative, right? He said, I don't think so, Dad. I've seen a different direction. For people my age, I'm going a different way. And I said, you must be kidding. If you want to come home, you're going to change your mind about that. Both my daughter and son voted for Trudeau. That's a fact. Now, I have a very high bar, and everybody else in this room does too. We need to win them all back, all of them. Our party has to be their future. That is the whole point of this. The task is, who can get these people back on side with us, number one. We have to expand our base materially. We've got to be at least 60% of their choice has to be Conservative, or we cannot win a majority mandate. Number two, I'm going to spend the next 2 years shining the light of transparency on Trudeau. I can read a balance sheet. I can read an income statement. When I saw he wanted to run deficits for 38 years, leaving my children in debt, $1.5 trillion, that's it. There's not a chance in hell he's going to do that, because I'm going to scrape him out of there. That's what's going to happen.
And you have been watching the Conservative leadership debate from the Western Nova Scotia and Halifax. Our window is closing. For those who want to continue watching, you can do so on our website, cbcnews.ca.